Welcome back to Trust Stadium, Waitakere. We've got 15 minutes left to play. 15 minutes for the Northern Mystics to get an historic win over an Australian side. They lead 42-36, and as we left play, Joe Sutton was being carted off court with an ankle problem, it looked to be. So Jane Woodlands-Thompson has again had to ring the changes. Kate Beveridge is back on, so is Emily Beaton. Got Georgia Beaton's back there too. So a mashed up lineup for the Thunderbirds.
Oh, didn't quite drop for Borrego, but did well to get the rebound. I think her stride was just a little wide on that initial landing. She couldn't quite get the push behind the ball. Nice, better positioning from Latu. That time gave herself good space to drop back into. She was nice and high, had a good hold.
We see Gerard's move back into the circle. She's in at goal defence for the Thunderbirds now. That's the more regular combination. And Georgia Beaton on at wing defence. Emily Beaton back on at wing attack. Kate Beveridge at goal attack. There's Borrego all alone back by the post.
So changes all around, as you say, Ricky. Borrego, of course, has been in the same position for the entire match. Jamaican goal shoot.
Good strong take from Latu in the air. Gerard gets the tip away. A little bit too close, no? No, the umpire's not happy.
Just a bit lazy on the shot from Latu, I felt. A wee bit too relaxed.
Perhaps she knows it as well. Well, they've got a big lead, the Mystics. Can they hold on? It's been one of their failings in the past 2 seasons. And there's Althea Byfield getting in front of Borrego, and he rips in with another intercept.
She'd have to be my player of the match for the Mystics. She's had a great start to the competition, Althea Byfield. She's not really that tall, but it's just her athleticism, her standing jump, her ability to see and read that ball in flight and go for intercept ball has been tremendous.
Well, maybe the local constabulary will see her on the telly now and perhaps let her off some of those speeding tickets that she's had during her time in Auckland so far. Fast hands, fast foot by all accounts. So it's back with the Mystics now, just trying to work it into the circle.
Yes, difficult to give that ball when you've got a defence hanging off your back. So the player with the pass to a player that's got someone hanging all over them, they're not going to give it. So you need to reposition or keep your body upright. Lovely shot from Tutaia from distance.
Well, she's moved home and she's made an impact. Tutaia, after a shaky start, she's really found her feet, and there she is again, looking into Latu, and good strong take from Latu.
Brilliant take. I don't know how that ball was squeezed between the two defence there. Risky one to take from Tutaia, but pays off. Henry. Or was that Wilcox?
Wilcox, they look very similar, don't they, with the outside arm. Got the long dark hair, as does Tutaia and George. Very confusing.
This, to me, is the strongest lineup on court for the Mystics that they could put out there. The most experienced. Here's the work from Wilcox with the away arm. Does it beautifully and followed it up. And you saw George just playing it back, giving time for the attack end to reset.
Roll on the ground. Maria Tutaia hauled up. No, she's not giving a hand. Mentor wants the ball, not to give her opponent any hand whatsoever. Latu creates the space for herself. They're out to 10 goals, the Northern Mystics. Out of nowhere, really. They led by 6 at the start of the final quarter, but they've scored the last 5, and now it's 10-goal advantage, 48-38, with around about 10 minutes to play in this first match. A long way to come back for the Thunderbirds. They're moving quickly to try and do so.
Latu, and she's been reprimanded and marched for it as well. Talked back, questioned Bronwyn Meek on the call. And the call was that she pushed off her defender.
Byfield came hunting for the intercept, pulled back. It's with Beveridge back on the court in the fourth quarter. She's a nice high shot, as we mentioned. Thunderbirds looking very busy, need to get a move on.
And they do. Again, that big wide landing stance from Borrego, as you say, out of the Irene van Dijk book of skills. Nice drive, good timing from Tutaia, but closed down well by the defence from the Thunderbirds. And again, it's Latu that's called. Or was it Tutaia that time? No, Tutaia.
Yeah, on that occasion. A couple of times the Mystics shooters have been called and they've not looked happy. That was a big advantage they had. They just need to maintain a little bit of patience and calm. Shooters tussling there, and Latu thought she'd been called. Tutaia thought it was her. Nobody really knew, but we've got a timeout. The Thunderbirds have scored the last 4 goals, so they've managed to close that gap up a little bit. It is very tense times in both camps, I would have thought.
Well, it was an interesting stat that we saw on the screen just a few moments ago with the penalty count, and the Thunderbirds much more heavily penalised than that of the Mystics. And to me, that was one reason why I felt that the Mystics may have the upper hand in the game today, is just the fact that the Thunderbirds would have had to adjust to that New Zealand style of umpiring. And we've seen this so much in the competition last year, was the fact that it was very hard to win. You know, for New Zealand teams to win across the Tasman when they had Aussie umpires, and when the Australian teams came here, it took them time to adjust as well.
They seem to settle more into it the longer the season gets, obviously, but first game up, I would have thought there could have been that chance. 6-all in the 4th quarter, but a 48-42 advantage, the 6-goal margin that they had at the end of the 3rd for the Mystics. And there's Byfield again, but Beaton cleans up.
Just about had it, didn't she, Byfield? She's certainly disrupting the flow on attack. Latu, beautifully taken, good strong hands.
She's getting good help and good support from Tutaia, and she's strong in the air. Latu.
It's really just the ball has to be delivered in the right spot for her, isn't it? We've seen a few go out the baseline that haven't had the height and that drop on them. Borrego, quite intense, isn't she? A lot of the Jamaicans, you see a very sort of don't come Monday look on their face, but she's you know, very, very keen and eager, always looking at the scoreboard.
And they've got another turnover, the Thunderbirds, and it's with Beaton, who's looking for Borrego, but there's Beveridge with the late charge in to the circle, and Jolene Henry's the one called for the contact.
Yeah, difficult one. Whose space was it? You have to give an attacking player landing space.
And that gap has closed again, 49-45. Henry and Byfield just having a chat with each other, just trying to get that combination working again. It was working well early, and same up this other end. The Mystics have just gone a bit quiet, and they've allowed the Thunderbirds back in.
Yes, that healthy lead. What was it, 10 goals at one stage there, Ricky? It's been eaten away at.
A few tense faces in the crowd at Trust Stadium. They've come along in force to support their team. What a mishandle from Beaton.
Coffin almost got it.
She doesn't look to be too hampered by that big kitty strapping on the thigh. Lovely shot from Beveridge.
Sorry, back to just the 3 goals, and pass off though with the Mystics. They really need to score from their own. That time didn't drop. And again, Latu maybe not just giving herself enough space. So good defence jamming her on the baseline there.
Well, things have really tightened up in that Mystic shooting circle now that Gerard has gone back into goal defence. And that combination of Gerard and Mentor making life difficult as